We welcome you in to the Small Ball Podcast alongside Christian Ennis and Trevor Micklin. I'm Scott Ayers. Boys, another week, another wonderful episode. We're finally into the full rhythm of the NBA season. And with the NBA season, there are two teams undefeated currently in the league. It is, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think for one team, OKC, it's kind of what we expected being at the top. Cleveland, a little different, but OKC, Christian, that team has been dominant.
They've been incredible. And the thing is like they're just going to get better and better as the season goes. I think what makes the Thunder really difficult is defensively, they're just a nightmare.
They're crazy.
Like, you're being guarded by SGA, and then you get switched by J-Dub, and then J-Dub to Alex Caruso, Caruso to Dort, and then
Cason Wallace.
And then you're getting met at the rim by Chet Holmgren. Like, they're basically the Great Wall of China. You cannot get past that wall. And the thing is, too, is Hartenstein still hasn't played yet, and he's an awesome defender and also a great playmaker. So their offense is just going to be flowing so good. They're just... I hate them. I hate the Thunder.
It's crazy how good they are. Voting day is tomorrow. I'm thinking about writing in Sam Presti for president.
For sure.
This dude has put together a roster. Yep. And like you said, Isaiah Hartenstein still hasn't played. Topic, their first round draft pick, he's not playing all year. So they just have a stash of players that are just ready. And, Aaron Wiggins off the bench, Isaiah Joe. These are two guys that would be starting in any other team, but because they're with Oklahoma City, they both were re-signed this offseason for, good contracts, and they're both playing really, really well. Yeah. Alex Caruso, you mentioned being added to the team. He hasn't even looked that good.
No.
He's not playing a ton, but still it's providing another player for this roster. I mean, this team is legit.
Yeah, and credit to them because they've built it. We've talked about it for the last couple of years of the picks that they had. And oftentimes teams that have picks, they miss or they don't stick to the plan that they have. They've stuck to the plan, and now it's like, okay, now it is quite clear they're the best team in the Western Conference. And I don't know if there's really too many teams that have a chance in winning a 7-game series against them. I mean, SGA is clearly a top 5 player in the NBA, and the guys around him fill their roles so well. Chet Holmgren's on his way into being a top 15 player in the NBA. I mean, it's just crazy how good they are and how quickly it felt like it happened.
Well, we talked about last week how Evan Mobley's been balling this year, and Chet right there. Those two, I think, are super comparable for their projections of what kind of players they could be. But yeah, Chet's been a monster.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you mentioned Evan Mobley.
Let's talk about it.
Evan Mobley, he's part of that other team that's undefeated, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Two teams left in the league undefeated, the Cavs and the Thunder. The Cavs have looked awesome thus far, and they've won some big games. They beat the Magic in a close one, and yeah, their players have stepped up. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and even without Max Strus, who was a huge part of their team last year, he hasn't played at all this season, and Dean Wade has stepped up. Ty Jerome off the bench has stepped up.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Dude, the bench players are playing well. And Sam Merrill, another dude that just comes in and does his job. So
you haven't even mentioned Karis LeVert, who is like legit their sixth man. Like, he's awesome. He's an electric offensive scoring threat off the bench. Like, when Donovan or Darius comes off, like, your offense doesn't really drop that much because Karis LeVert is good enough to where he can kind of keep the offense still performing at a high level.
And this is all under new coach.
Yeah. Which maybe that was one of the big things with Kenny Atkinson when he was applying for the Cavs job is like he said, like, I'm going to fix the Cavs. Like, he literally said that to them and, obviously sold the ownership on like, hey, he's the next coach. And he's honestly lived up to his word. I know it's only like 7 games in, but like, to start a season off undefeated, like,
it's the perfect start.
It really is. You can't ask for a better start.
It's crazy because JB Bickerstaff was a coach that we all were like, this guy has put together. High on him. Yeah, we were high on him. We're thinking this guy's like some genius, defensive genius. And he leaves and goes to Detroit. And Atkinson's start in Cleveland has been awesome. JB Bickerstaff's starting Detroit now. It's Detroit. It's the Pistons. They haven't looked good. I haven't watched a ton of Detroit. I'll confess that. Their offense looks terrible. It is one-on-one basketball. They give Malik Beasley the freaking green light. I mean, it is
bad.
It's just bad.
You know what's crazy about the Pistons is they have had a worse start this year than they did last year.
Gosh, dude.
I mean, and that goes really quickly back to the point of OKC is Detroit's had, top 10 picks each of the last however many years, and we have seen zero improvement. They have not looked better at all. And I know they brought in our king of small ball, Tobias Harris. But yeah, it's just a good example of what a good front office does versus a bad front office.
It just shows that playing the lottery game is risky. It doesn't work out all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, like you again have OKC on the other side where they got lucky, got the second pick, and was able to draft Chet, and then you have the Pistons who were supposed to be the worst team in the league, and they ended up with the fifth pick and got Jaden Ivey. It's like the gap between those two players is so big, and it just shows that it's not always the best bet to just be terrible and try to play those lottery odds.
Here's one more thing I'll say about this. If the Cavs continue on this trend, we need, as small ball, to stand up for our guy, Jarrett Allen.
Yeah.
And start, trying to advocate for him to be an all-defensive team player this year.
I like that.
He's never been on the all-defensive team.
Really?
And Jarrett Allen is the anchor of the Cavaliers' defense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That shocks me.
So let's stand up. Let's start advocating for our guy.
I stand with you, Jarrett Allen.
Jarrett Allen, the lights are not bright enough.
Ooh. I like that. Good callback.
Yeah.
That's really good. Really quick, too, that reminds me, you want to hear a shocking thing? This is non-NBA related.
Let's hear it.
Joe Flacco, guess how many Pro Bowls?
0.
None.
Really?
Super Bowl MVP. He got invited once and declined. Isn't that shocking?
Why did he decline?
I don't know.
You didn't want to go to Hawaii?
You don't want to go to Hawaii? That seems crazy. That's all I read, though. So you just said something shocking, so I want to match your shocking with my shocking.
You know what? I'm going to say this here, a real idea for next week. I'll come up with the players, but it'll be which player was not an all-star. And I'll have two guys, or which player was an all-star. Two guys that were, just decent players. One of them had one season of an all-star. There's always those random guys.
There
like
is.
Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay, not an all-star.
Boom. Scott would have totally gotten that one wrong.
But Lowry Marketing was an all-star.
I would have choked.
Come on. Yeah, you would have choked.
Yeah.
Maybe we do it on Scott.
Yeah, let's do it on Scott.
That's
Next
good.
week, no prepare for
I'm
you.
not going to look up, except for Joe Flacco. I do know that.
Yeah. Let me look up. Keep talking.
But anyways, so shocking. Christian, there's something more shocking in the East because there's a team with only one win.
Yeah, I mean, this team is dead last in the East. And the Cavs just beat them on a game winner.
Yeah.
So what the buck is going on in Milwaukee? Yeah, you like what I did there?
That was a fire intro. That was so good.
Like, Milwaukee Bucks right now are 1-5, dead last in the East. By the time you're listening to this podcast, they could be 1-6. They're playing the Cavs again tonight. Giannis is out. And it's just like, it's not looking good. It looks like Dame hates Doc Rivers. He said in the locker room, he's not even a real doctor. That is an exact quote from Damian Lillard.
I mean, but wait, they just hired Doc Rivers, didn't they?
They just hired Doc Rivers. They fired the coach that was having a winning record. And Doc Rivers, as the Milwaukee Bucks head coach, is like 20-26.
Huh.
He has more losses than he does
wins.
wins.
With Giannis on his team and Damian Lillard?
Yep.
I thought he was a great coach, though.
Yeah.
He's
that guy
not.
loves blowing leads.
He loves it.
He's not. If you really look into the history of Doc Rivers, he is not a good coach. He won one championship with the Celtics, and for whatever reason around the NBA,
He's coasted since.
he's coasted since. You look at the Clippers team, failure. You look at the when he was the head coach of the Clippers, he was also GM, and he was the one that signed off on the trade to trade SGA and $1 billion picks for Paul George.
So let me ask you guys this.
Sure.
Is Doc Rivers worse on TV or worse as a coach? Yeah.
Well, because he was on the cruise with Doris Burke normally.
I think so. Him and Doris.
I mean, this is a hot take, but I don't like Doris Burke, so any crew that she's on is bad.
Okay, we cannot be anti Doris Burke. We'll get canceled.
No, I'm pro Doris Burke.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
I like Doris.
Yeah. I'm in the middle. I don't
Okay,
like.
I'll be strong. I love Doris Burke.
Thank you. That puts us over the edge.
There. Now we're a podcast with diverse opinions.
Yes, we are. Back to Bucks. I do think that is the story from this though. Is Doc Rivers as a coach? He's just not.
Is there a story too that maybe Dame and Giannis just don't work well together?
I don't think so. I feel like they have to work well. Those two, the play archetypes that they have. One of the best shooting point guards with one of the biggest dominant players in our league.
I mean, maybe we got to start asking the question that maybe Damian Lillard is not
a winner.
He's not he doesn't play defense. He is all offense and doesn't care about defense, and that's why the Bucks are so bad right now. Is that their backcourt is getting beat on defense,
Dude,
every time.
I don't think that the blame should be on Dame. Is Steph a great defender? No.
He's
Steph,
an average defender.
No.
Steph, if you go back, Steph is an average defender.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I understand Dame is terrible on defense. I don't think the issue is Dame. I don't think the issue is Giannis. I think it's Doc Rivers, and I think the players that they put around them just aren't good.
It also is wild because I feel like a couple years ago we were like, this Bucks team is like perfectly constructed.
I
think we
said that on the show.
Yeah,
we're like, if you're a GM, you got to study this team. And then now it's like they just look old and depleted.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Middleton
hasn't played yet.
Yeah, stupid Middleton.
Yeah.
I think that was we said this before.
Kate Middleton.
I was looking for something.
We said this before the Drew Holiday trade.
Yeah.
So,
which, how stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, what a complete oversight by Milwaukee, because that ultimately is what helped put Boston over the edge.
It literally is. This is something to look at and be like, this is what happens when you make short-sighted decisions about your franchise.
Did you just think Boston wasn't going to trade?
Yeah,
for
Drew
Holiday
to Portland, and Portland's like, yeah, we're going to keep Drew Holiday.
I mean, give me a break.
No.
I'm out on Milwaukee, guys.
Yeah.
I'm out on Milwaukee.
I think they'll turn it around, but they're not going to be they're not a contender with Doc.
Yeah. Giannis is going to he's going to look so good in a Kings uniform. It's going to be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Or maybe a Nuggets.
What?
Yeah. MPJ.
Giannis and Jokic would love each other.
Giannis and Jokic would go nuts.
They would.
JJ. Giannis. Oh, JG. Never mind. Let's keep going.
All right. From one bad team to another, the Washington Wizards. But unlike Milwaukee, it feels like this is probably the most positive we've seen Washington Wizards fans, because they've had some of these young guys show a little bit of life, right? We've got Bilal Coulibaly. Yep. We've got Jordan Poole, who's been playing well. Corey Kispert, hopefully down the road. Shout out to our guy, Shane.
Shout out, Shane.
But this feels like a positive direction. They're losing, but almost is like, wait, maybe this Washington team, I just feel like it's important. We shine a little light because we usually dunk on Washington. Why don't we give them a little love for some of these young guys that are playing well?
Let's love on them.
Bilal, awesome. I didn't know he was going to be the type of player that he is right now. You know, he seemed like when he was drafted more of a project player, more of raw, but he's shown great signs. I mean, obviously Twitter and Washington fans are going to freak out. But
Kawhi.
He's Kawhi Leonard. He's Kawhi. And hey, maybe he is. Hopefully he's better injury history than Kawhi. But want to just shout out too, like Bub Carrington. Awesome.
Dude, yeah.
He's awesome. And Alex Sarr has played pretty well. You know, he's actually playing big, which is nice to see because he was just like out on the perimeter just chucking shots and seems to be playing well as well.
Yeah, so their rookies have looked good. You mentioned those two. Also, Kaishan George, from Miami. I mean,
Doesn't turn the ball over.
I mean, he's been actually playing kind of well. A lot of it is because they just are playing all these young players. They're a bad team, but they're playing well. And Jordan Poole's playing like an all-star.
Dude,
Jordan Poole.
He's probably going to be an all-star this year.
If he continues at the rate
you like
he's
that?
going now, I like that. Along
and
with
Cam Thomas.
My scoring title guy.
Cam Thomas and Jordan Poole. But what he's doing is he's upping his trade value. You got Kuzma, who hopefully is going to be traded at the deadline for Washington. They need to go full tank mode. In my opinion, trade Jordan Poole, capitalize while he's playing well. Get that dude off my team. I don't like his shenanigans. I don't know. He's just not the kind of guy that I want on my roster. If you're going to be a fun, pizzazzy player, I need it to look like Malik Monk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not like a Jordan Poole.
And, well, yeah, he doesn't even have, like, that great of a, like, personality.
No.
Or, like,
Well, that's the thing that I don't like is, like, there's so many clips of him just uninterested in timeouts. He's, like, just off on the side, bad-mouthing coach, you know. Yeah. It's not my favorite type of personality.
Good.
Not good. Shout out Wiz.
Shout out Wiz, though.
I do have to say Kyle Kuzma's been hurt, like, past few games or whatever. But, man, he's shot chucking.
Dude.
He is insane right now. First team shot chucker. He is just, like, throwing up shots where I'm like, what were you even thinking?
I hope he's learning, like, know your role, bro. Like, you're on the worst team in the NBA. And if you aren't going to be able to do it there, wherever you go next, Kyle Kuzma, do not become.
No.
Don't try to be the number one option because
You can't.
You can't do that and win this
You're not
league.
good enough.
Swallow your pride. Go be a contributor on a team at a lower level.
Yeah.
It's crazy how he was like, he was basically had the opportunity to get traded to Dallas and he said no because he wanted to be on a winning team.
Yeah.
Like, just crazy. Like, how dumb can you be? Like, you don't see the opportunity of, like, oh, I could help take Dallas to the next level.
Also, Marvin Bagley. He's just so bad. He is so bad.
I was like, is this a Marvin Bagley shout out?
No.
What about Jonas?
Valanciunas.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten a ton of. They haven't been using him the way I thought that they would this season. He doesn't even start all the games. So
Another trade piece, maybe?
yeah,
Team
big
needs a center.
contract, but
You know who needs a center? The New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah, they do.
go get their guy back.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonas, we need you back, man.
Yeah, Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla. Yeah. I like this. Joe Mazzulla, he said that he wants to bring back fighting in the NBA. Malice at the Palace. I mean, I like it. I don't think it needs to go as far as Malice
Kind
at
of like
the Palace.
hockey.
Yeah, just like, you know.
Drop the gloves.
Drop the gloves, maybe like one punch that completely misses, but you're like, whoa.
Also, the context of why he said this was towards the end of the game, it was a close game with Charlotte and Boston, and Grant Williams. Tatum has the ball. He's dribbling. It's a fast break. Grant Williams comes out of left field like a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And just throws his body into Jason Tatum. Jason goes down, and people are like, what in the world just happened?
I love
Grant
that
Williams.
Grant Williams.
Like, what are you doing, Grant Williams? It's indefensible. It's so bizarre that he did that. It's hilarious because Grant Williams talked about the next day because they played each other on a back-to-back. And he goes like, yeah, I had like a party plan for after the game. I bought like wings and stuff, and I was hoping to kick it with the players. That obviously didn't happen. I had a lot of extra chicken wings, you know. But just a dumb play. So that's why he said that.
Grant Williams, he should not be in this league.
I like that.
Grant Williams is a certified loser.
What?
Welcome to Shanghai, Grant Williams.
He is not that good of a basketball player, and he's just an idiot. That's my take on Grant Williams.
I like it.
It's harsh, man.
I mean, like, you don't do that.
Yeah,
you
no,
don't do that in a game. That is not a basketball play. And even, too, like, there's the later on in the game or whatever, he has a layup, and he's, like, standing over the ball, and then Derek White, like, has to push him out of the way to get the ball. Like, he's just, like, tries to, like, start things, and it's just, like, What do you?
He seems well. You're saying that you want fight, so he seems like the perfect player for your future
within
NBA.
reason. Like I want.
Yeah, I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
Fights to happen because of like it's a rivalry and like both teams are just like the Celtics Lakers, how they like didn't want each other to win, so they were just extra aggressive.
Or
Chris
like,
Paul and Rondo punching each other.
Sure, but like when it comes from a player that's not even good, like what are we doing here?
I just wish it was kind of like baseball. Clear the dugouts.
Yeah.
And maybe for basketball, that means we call in the G League guys, and they come onto the floor too.
Okay.
And then we're all kind of center court. Not a lot happens. Maybe you have a base someone can throw.
What if we pick one fan from each team to come out center court, duke
and just
it out,
fight?
and it's always like third quarter around like 4 minutes left.
Yeah, the 6-minute timeout.
Yeah.
You call on two fans and it's like, hey, you're fighting for the Houston Rockets right now.
Wow.
And we need you to, and it's just like a hockey fight. Once you go down, they separate you. You go into a penalty box for 5 minutes and then you're good to go.
It's interesting.
Some players are pro fighting.
Steven
Adams said, hey, if you give me $20, I'll go punch Rudy Gobert in the face.
He said that?
Yeah.
He said that. That was a quote from Steven Adams.
Quote unquote.
When was this?
This was right after Joe Mazzulla's.
No way.
This was in response to Joe Mazzulla.
It was
And boys,
last week.
I think we could get $20.
The small ball donation. This is our first NIL deal.
Yeah.
So with an NBA player.
Yeah. Steven, if you punch him, we will Venmo you.
$20, Steven.
Absolutely.
It's a deal.
That'd be epic.
That's awesome. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah, please.
Scott's getting back from a long trip.
Yes.
He just got in.
This is my flu. I got in about 30 minutes before we recorded, so it's a flu game, but I'm battling hard.
Scott, this is perfect because I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, good.
Scott Ayers.
Jet lagged.
Jet lagged.
You are an NBA GM.
Okay.
Yeah. Who would you rather have between these players?
I'm listening.
First one,
Okay.
Jalen Green or Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey.
Why?
Tyrese hasn't been as efficient to start this year, but overall is a more efficient player. He's had the benefit of playing with guys like Joel Embiid. However, when they both play on their own, I just like Tyrese Maxey's game a little bit more than I like Jalen Green's.
Okay, that's fair. Who's more handsome?
Jalen Green. Jalen Green's more handsome.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Chet Mobley or Evan. Oh, sorry.
I was like, who's Chet Mobley?
Chet Mobley. Chet Holmgren or Evan Mobley.
Chet Holmgren. I think Evan Mobley's peak is going to be a top 15 player in the league. I think Chet Holmgren has the potential to be a top 5 player. I think both are great defensively, but I think as an offensive player, Chet Holmgren just brings more to the table and will bring more to the table down the road. I just he's a great outside shooter. He's great in the post. I mean, he's young. He's only going to develop more. So give me Chet Holmgren.
I like those two. I've given you 2 easy ones. We're going to make it a little bit harder here. De'Aaron Fox or Jalen Brunson.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, lefties.
Gosh, both are so good. I think I'm going to lean towards Jalen Brunson. So this feels like more of a coin flip. I think both are great. De'Aaron Fox obviously was the clutch player of the year a couple years ago. I like Jalen Brunson more in a late game situation now, though. So give me Jalen Brunson.
Wow, late game.
Right.
I mean, De'Aaron was clutch player of the year.
He was.
I think Brunson did it in deep into the playoffs.
That's where I lean.
That's
Recency
the thing, man.
bias. Okay, yeah.
True. All right, LaMelo Ball or Ja Morant.
LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick LaMelo Ball because I think he is a better playmaker. Ja has better athleticism. I think LaMelo is a better outside shooter. And then it's just like, hey, which injury do you hope to avoid with both players? So give me LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo's 6'7" too. I mean, a big guard like that doesn't like just come around the NBA very often.
Yeah. Super talented. All right. Last one. I have a feeling that you are going to upset a lot of our viewers. Paolo Banchero or Anthony Edwards.
Wow. This is crazy.
You know what to do.
I think I'm going to go with Paolo Banchero.
Anthony Edwards.
I know it's Anthony Edwards. He's the poster child. Give me Paolo Banchero. I know he just got hurt, so it's like, dang, that stinks. You can't turn on the TV and watch him. I think his game translates well to just about any team in the NBA. He has turned this Magic team around. He's at least talked about number one pick in the last probably 15 years, and he is so dang talented. I'm going to take Paolo Banchero. I think he's going to have the better career in terms of, what he brings to the table.
It's good, Scott. I like that pick by you. Go against the culture.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
Go against
follow your
the
heart.
grain.
Yeah.
That is against the grain. I wasn't ready for that.
I knew you were going to say Banchero.
Did you really?
You went
Yes.
against the grain on a couple players.
Yeah.
I feel like you went against the grain, LaMelo,
Yep.
and that last one. I feel like Maxey over Green makes sense, Chet over Mobley, and then Brunson over Fox.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
It's those last two that kind of people
Yeah.
are going to be like, this guy knows no ball.
Yeah, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Imagine if Nate Robinson comments, though.
I hope Nate Robinson's doing well.
I do too.
He would have been awesome to watch fight people.
He would have. Yeah. He would have been
Dunks
sick.
over a Lamborghini and then just punches the crap out of someone.
Or he gets beat up.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul beat him up.
Yeah.
That's tough. Okay, now I'm really thinking for Nate Robinson.
Yeah. Man.
Man, well.
Go vote for Sam Presti tomorrow.
Yep. Everyone write in Sam Presti, and we can make a difference.
Can you imagine? You're just like sitting on your couch and you're just like, and the president is Sam Presti.
NBA GM.
Sam is just like, what?
Because he'd have to quit his job, which would be great for us.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Wait a second. This is genius.
Okay.
NBA fans, let's rally. Let's get Sam Presti in office.
So he can't build a Goliath at OKC.
Do you think that like someone can turn down the presidency? Like you win and then you're like, actually, I don't want to be president.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know.
Okay,
George
so-
Washington couldn't.
Facts. And look at him.
Yeah.
So this is our last-ditch effort to sway the political landscape of the United States. Vote for Sam Presti because he would be forced to take office and no longer be the GM of the Thunder, in which they would fall apart.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's our only hope.
It is our only hope.
Vote Presti.
What is his slogan?
Presti, we trust.
Vote Presti.
Presti? Prestige worldwide.
Leave a good impresti.
That's good.
Leave a good impresti. Vote for Sam Presti.
Yeah.
So for Trevor Mickulin and Christian Ennis, I'm Scott Ayers saying so long for now. We will see you next week.
Get out and vote!